just thinking in my mind, like, how long would it take to walk the show?
Oh,
We're going to break that thing up and be strategic about our approach and
that
how
is
we
so
walk.
true.
Yeah,
That is
I can't get there and then after 2-3 days, I still look around and say I haven't walked, I haven't talked to people. I think it's going to be a great place to have conversations with folks and learn different things. And
no that
there's going to be some people that's coming in that I may not have seen at a show before.
I 100% agree because you could get so overwhelmed. You know, when I first went to what show was it? Probably when I went to Nostalgia show. It was a big show. No, not Nostalgia. Okay, yeah. I'll just use that example. So I went to that one. It was a big show, so I didn't know where to start.
Okay.
I did not know what to do. I didn't have it. I had a strategy, but that whole thing changes. You know, when you're a rookie going to your first NBA game, like this is how you're going to play, blah blah blah. Once the lights turned on, I was like, man, it's so overwhelming because you see the YouTubers if you're lucky enough to see them, you see them doing their thing. You see the people that have those high end cards in person, so you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, where do you even start? So I after that, I was like, man, my whole that once I started walking, I was like, man, I don't even know where to start. So I just did what I did. I just went to the first table and then talked to somebody, and eventually settled down because it. Trust me,
Mm-hmm.
walking in, you're just like walking to like a candy store, and you're just like, wow, you don't even know what to do because sometimes you're probably on a time limit, and that's probably the worst thing. Is just like you don't want to leave nothing on the table either.
Yeah, something like that. I just got to get a proper amount of time to it. I can understand if someone, yeah, is on a time limit.
Yeah,
Then you maybe walk a portion of the show. You decide which portion you're going to walk, or do you break the show down by what you're collecting or what you want to buy, and
yeah,
then later to sell? Do you break it down by that? Like you can hit a table, you already know that's vintage. Are you into vintage? If not,
you
maybe
just
do a
keep
meet
moving.
and greet, say hello to someone as a future contact for something else that you may want to do in the
Hmm.
future, and then
Yeah.
move on. Do you are you into modern basketball, or if you see a table that's focused on that, then that's where you stop and have conversations. I would advise anyone to simply break every show down
Hmm.
by tables and what's on the table, and then I think if you do that, you can kind of navigate yourself through the show and find yourself in a good place to really cover what you want to cover.
No,
You
I
know,
agree.
we take the approach that I, I'm I'm always learning, right? So
Hmm. Me
I'm
too.
learning about something. So I can stop at a table that I may not be thinking about buying something or investing in for the next 6 months to 9 months, but what's my future look? And
Hmm.
I know that I may be different that way. I'm always thinking about the future.
Yeah, that's what I do the same thing too, man. I'm not thinking about. I mean, yeah, I could have went today, but I mean, I don't need it. I already have something lined up.
Hmm.
It would have been a nice plus add to the resume this year, but I have a plan. You stick to it, and
Yep.
if everything works out, it's I don't need to second guess myself. But like you said, just planning for the future, just planning ahead. I think just being prepared. I already got I mean, I got to do a little comping on my cards that I'm going to bring up to the bay, but I already have an idea what I want to do, how I want to film some content, and just move about that the next 2 weeks because it's going to be a big 2 weeks, and I get a little break, and then it's Delmar, So
Ooh, I can't wait on Delmar, man.
yeah,
G and I kind of no, we got out here and we put a lot of energy in. Just trying to let people know that we're willing to work, right?
hmm,
And I think with the Mint, I took the perspective of I need to get to know more people and like have conversations with them. Like we came out the gate, man. We were going to shows and kind of kicking in the door, and for everybody out there, I know it can be very intimidating going to a show where you don't know anyone at all. I,
yeah,
JD, I thrive on that, man. I love going into situations where I don't know anyone,
me too.
and then talking to people and learning more about what's going on in here and what kind of show is this or what kind of event is this, and
Yeah,
navigating my way through and meeting friends or meeting colleagues or um, people that I think are going to be very influential in the future. Meeting them. And let me say this to people too, and this goes to me for work or anything you're doing. Uh, don't. This is just me, right? I cannot walk by someone and I think that only the content creator is important, right? Only the person at a major company is important, because you don't know where people are going,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like we go through this as fans of things, right? You'll hear about a player who didn't sign someone's autograph when it was 7, 8 years old. Then that person later, maybe as a player, or maybe someone in entertainment, or someone that's run their own business, and then they still have that memory in their mind. When you're in these situations, you're meeting and greeting a lot of people. You don't know who those people are in the future, or how they, a relationship with them, or even a general passing with them, can be a memory for them.
Yep, 100% agree.
Take
100%
that. I take that seriously, man.
I do
That's
too, man.
I don't care. And I've said in the show, right? If we're doing a deal, we're walking, we're talking to people, whatever. Tap me on the shoulder. I can't tell you how many people at the Mint tap me on the shoulder, JD.
Yeah, no, I
And said,
agree.
"Hey, man, hey, what's up?" I turned around. Hey, what's up? We're talking now, and maybe we're talking a hobby. We're talking about where they're from. We're talking about how they got in. When did they get in, and what influenced them to start collecting? Like, we're having real conversations because somebody tapped me on the shoulder or said,
Yep,
"What's up?" Hey.
I agree. I completely agree. Um, Before I started doing actual content, I wasn't afraid, but I was a little self-conscious talking to people. And then after I started doing what I do, I had to tell myself I have to ease out of this shell a little bit, just because I'm not gonna move anywhere. I can make all this content online, post it on YouTube, do this and that, but only way I'm gonna market myself is actually through word of mouth. And once I just said, I just told myself I'm just gonna do it one try. Best one I did. I went to the Bay back in October. I was like, okay, I went to the Bay. I'm gonna talk to everybody. This is when
There you go.
I finished the first season, I think, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just see how it feels like just to talk to everyone. And of course, it's nervous. You're nervous because you don't know what people are gonna think. You're scared what they're gonna say. But I was like, you know what? They don't know me. I don't know them. But I guess what? They're gonna get to know me and know what I'm trying to do for the hobby and for myself. And it turned out really well. And that's why I get a lot of love from up in the Bay because of that experience. Because imagine if I didn't go in there, I'm just gonna look at cars and not tell anybody who I am. Like it would have been a waste of a trip for me too. So, that's a good example.
I mean, I think it's just so underrated that
Yeah.
a lot of times people don't talk about that. It's very important. Take some time at a show, right? Let's say
Yeah.
you've been looking at cars for 45 minutes. Don't be afraid to take the next 30 and talk to people.
Yeah. You
Greet
get more.
like, I like to greet people when I come to their table. Hey, how you doing, JD? I'm
Mhm.
FD, rolling with FD,
Yes, sir.
and find out something about them, and
Yeah.
then get a conversation going before I dive into what's on their table.
And some
Those are the things that's cool.
and
Uh,
sometimes those conversations that you guys don't film, like we had a few of those
mhm.
already, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The first of conversations that people don't see that we don't film are the best conversations that I
Mhm.
wish we could have filmed, just because with all the knowledge and everything that we're talking, you're just like, wow, you're just shocked. Then once the camera turns on, you for totally, it just goes back to cars. But trust me, there's a lot of, like, when we first met at Burbank, we talked like a good 15-20 minutes about
Yeah, we talk.
basketball and
Yeah,
everything. And then I was like,
we talking
man,
about them Lakers, right? We were talking about a lot
yeah,
of stuff.
yeah. And then man, this is the conversation I love having.
Mhm.
Authenticity about the hobby and about sports in general. So I'm telling you, you guys got to do it. You'll be surprised how much a certain person will know about a card that you didn't know about, or a set.
Yeah, yes, yes. Always stay humble. Those are the things that, to me, that are just so cool about being out and talking to people. And I tell people also that I get a feel like, before walking into the Mint, right? We got up that morning, we're walking over. You see the entry door, right?
Hmm.
I get this feeling inside. Now, don't believe that because people are out and they make content, this and the other, they don't have some anxiety. I've told this to people before, and people laugh like, "Nah, FD, you don't have." Yeah,
Oh
you do.
man.
Yeah, you do. If you get up in front of people and you give a speech, you have some anxiety about that. I always think about, where do you turn the anxiety? How do you take that energy? Because that's energy inside. How do you take that energy and mold that into something that's helpful, right? So when I get in those situations, I remember back playing sports.
Yeah, you gotta show
When
out.
you're in the locker room,
Mhm.
before that door opens and you walk out, there's a lot of emotions there. I don't care
Yep.
if you play for. You can talk to guys in the NFL, talk to people who have been great college players. There's an emotion there. What do you do with that emotion? We hear about it all the time in March Madness is going on right now. Well, what are these guys and young ladies on the teams? What are they doing? How do they channel that energy? The good teams and the great teams can use that energy to benefit them and not as a distraction or nervousness where they turn the ball over or do certain things. It's the same way to me going into a show.